Hi, my name is Han Chuan, also known as Drum HQ on YouTube and Instagram. There has been a Tears for Fears challenge going on with drummers all around the world playing along to Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. They do this by playing the original drum groove and also the groove with metric modulation. So if you're listening to this challenge for the first time, it may be quite confusing as to what exactly is going on. I'm here to just give you a quick lesson on what's happening. Before we do that, let me just jump on the drum kit. After that, we'll go through some charts to explain what is going on and give you a visual representation of what is happening with the metric modulation. If any of the content is helpful, please give me a subscribe on YouTube and a follow on Instagram. This will be very helpful and I will appreciate your support. Now let's jump into the charts and I'll show you what's happening with the metric modulation. Here we have the program called MuseScore. This is what I use for all my work and transcribing. If you need the link to this program, you can just drop me a DM and I can just link you the website. So this is a completely free program that I use. Before we begin, here are some notes. I have a right bell to indicate a change in the groove throughout all my charts, so it's easier for you. You clearly know when there is going to be a change that is happening. For the purpose of learning this challenge, I have kept the groove in its simplest form. If you wish to, once you get the basics of this metric modulation, you're free to go and explore with your own creativity. In these charts, you'll see two main colors. You would see red and you'll see blue. Whenever you see red in the boxes here, if you look at my yellow cursor, you would see these are boxed into groups of 3 in triplets. When you see the color blue, it means that it's in a groupings of 4. So the red would be the original groove in triplets. The blue will be the one that has the metric modulations and counting in 16ths. So counting in 16ths means 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. And the original will be counting in 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So this first exercise is the simple groove with all the hi-hat subdivisions being played, meaning it's going to be in all the triplets, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. And with the metric modulation, you're still playing all the same hi-hats, but you're going to be counting not in triplets anymore. You're going to be counting in groups of 4. Let me just play this for you so you can have a listen. So what you notice is that once we move to the metric modulation, the portions in blue over here, you would see that every 4 notes, after a groupings of 4, that's where the snare comes in. So the snare comes in on the 2 over here, but in terms of the triplets, it's on the 1, 2, 3, 4, every 5th note. Okay. So in the original version, it comes in on the 4th note here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the snare comes in on the 4th note. So this is what we mean by, in the original version, we are counting 3 notes in one grouping, and we're counting the metric modulation, we're counting 4s in a group. Let me play this version again with a click so that you have a reference of the quarter note. If you need to, this will be up on YouTube. You can slow it down to practice along to it. And for the exercise 2, this is going to be the groove with the actual hi-hats for the song. That means the hi-hats won't be on every single subdivision right now. The hi-hat will be on every alternate triplet as it is on the actual song. So let me just play this for you so you can have a listen. So how would you count this 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So if you notice where the click lands once we go into the metric modulation, the click is still on the quarter notes if you're counting 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a here. So I'm going to play the version with the metric modulation, but I'm going to be counting the click now. It's going to be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. So you can practice along to this exercise 2 with the actual hi-hats. This will be the actual groove for the song. Moving on to exercise 3. Exercise 3 is just to show you that the metric modulation, although for the previous 2 exercises I've kept it at the same tempo of 112 BPM. In exercise 3, you will notice that the tempo I put in the metric modulation at a slower tempo at 84. So this is actually 3/4 of the original of 112. This, if I play 84 BPM and I play them as straight 8s on the groove, it will be equivalent to the metric modulation at 112. Let me just show this to you. So here, this is still the same groove, but the click has changed to quarter notes at 84 BPM. So when we have metric modulation, it gives you a feel of a different tempo, as if the song has slowed down or sped up. So in this case, when we're playing the metric modulation, if I'm referencing to a click, the click is still remaining at 112, but I'm just playing on top of the 112 BPM. Of course, if you can program the click and change it to 84, and then after that change it back to 112 again, that's possible, but that is just showing you that metric modulation is actually making it feel like it's slowing down to a different tempo. So for exercise 4, it's going to be the same as exercise 2 with the actual hi-hat pattern for the song, but now I've added in a little bit more kicks for the metric modulation. So now the kicks are playing in triplets still, but we are counting 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, we're counting 16 notes. However, the kick pattern is still remaining in the triplet feel. So if you look at this, we have the kick on the 1, and you're referencing this 2, 3, and 4 over here. However, you would see that the hi-hat is playing, if you look at the blue box, the hi-hats are playing on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this gives you a very interesting, this gives us a very interesting feel to the groove with the mix of 16s on the hats, with a mix of 8th notes on the hats and the kick remaining in triplets. So what's the most important thing that we need to take note for this metric modulation is to be able to keep the click at a constant quarter notes with the ability to count in triplets and also in groups of 4. So if I put on a click in quarter notes, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 1E and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... So groupings of 3, groupings of 4, as long as you can handle that. Practice slow. Doesn't have to be practiced at 1-1-2. Practice it much slower if you need to. Let me know if you need any more help and I'll be glad to answer your questions. I'll see you again.